This video is solving equations using multiplication and division. We're going to focus on two principles for this video: the transformation principle of multiplication for equality and the transformation principle of division for equality. The same is true all real numbers for x, y, and z. If x equals y, then I should be able to multiply both sides of my equation by z and not change the fact that it's an equation. Same thing here. If x equals y, then I should be able to divide both sides of my equation by z. Notice I can do this in fraction form or using the division symbol. Also, in multiplication, I can multiply z either from the right side or the left side, and it'll still be equivalent. So let's try applying this. Here's my first example. Something times 5 gives me negative 15. Well, we always start with thinking about what's happening to my variable. Well, it's being multiplied by 5. Remember, there's an invisible multiplication symbol there. So, what's the inverse of multiplication? It's division. I like to use the fraction bar. But in essence, what I'm saying is 5 times c divided by 5 equals negative 15 divided by 5. Either of these is correct. Well, 5 over 5 in fraction form gives me 1. 1 times c would leave me with c. So 5 and divided by 5 are inverses, which gives me 1 or 1c. This is going to equal negative 15 divided by 5 is 3. I have a negative and a positive, so it needs to be negative 3. Which principle did I use? Well, I used the transformation principle of division for equality. Here's another example. What's happening to my variable? I'm dividing it by 4. What's the inverse of dividing by 4? It's multiplying by 4. So basically, I have 6 times 4 equals u over 4 times 4. Well, we know that we can cancel these out, which will leave us with u. You can do the same thing here. 4 times 6 is 24. U equals 24. So that would be my solution. Now here's a couple of problems for you to try. Solve the equation using the transformation principles for multiplication and division. Make sure you label them. So for example, up here, which of the principles did I use? I multiplied both sides of the equation, so I used the transformation principle of multiplication for equality. So it's what you're doing, multiplying or dividing, that determines which principle that you're using. This is the end of the video on using multiplication and division to solve equations.